Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, August 10th, 2020. We're in the first day of the new trading week and the final hour of the trading day. The final hour is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. I say this because during the day you have the algorithms, you have the day traders. They are in control of the price. They are the groups moving the price. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions come in. They take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. They're dealing with the most money, very smart people, best technology, best information, and I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions based upon what they are doing. So thank you all for coming. It's always nice to see everyone. I always look forward to this hour of the day when I get to hang out with this great group and all the great input they have, great poems. So thank you all for coming. I hope that by coming here and investing your time, it is helping you. So, okay, well, the Dow Jones is up 332 points, up 1.21%. NASDAQ is down 40 points, down 0.35%, so kind of a tale of two cities here. And the S&P is up 8.64%, up about 0.25%. So let's take a look. Kamal is here. Hey, Kamal, good to see you, my friend. Always nice to have you here. Thank you for your scan today. Brian M is here. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Evan is here. Good afternoon to Evan. Thank you for coming. And Dan is here. How's it going, Dan? Nice to see you. All right. Well, listen, here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have some good day trades today. I'll be sharing those with you as well. After that, we're going to take a look at the board, and some of you have been kind enough to share your trades, and there's some good ones today. So we're going to go over those, take a look. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, switch gears from technicals and entries and exits, and talk a little bit about the mind in regards to trading, which in my opinion is the most important skill that you can learn, is following your plan. So after that, Kamal has been kind enough to share his scanner with me. Did find some that look pretty good, so we're going to take a look at those. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a trade. First requirement, I want to make sure that I either have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up, like MACD, RSI, moving averages, ATR channels, and ideally lining up on multiple time frames. I look at each indicator as a potential group of buyers, and therefore if I can get a confluence or a combination of those buyers coming together, I look at it as multiple groups of buyers coming in at the same time. And if you want to have the best chance to have a profitable trade, you want to be in the company with as many other buyers as possible. Number 2, need to have a good risk to reward ratio. It's very important. Even if you have a good confluence of signals, you want to make sure that you can make at least 2 times to the upside. At least 3, 4 would be even better compared to what you're losing to the downside. So if I'm risking $100 to the downside, I want to be able to make sure I can make more than 200 or more to the upside based upon valid support below, based upon valid resistance above. And then number 3, just make sure you do not have too many correlated positions. It's good to have a diversified portfolio. Even with trading, you don't want to be too heavy in any one particular industry. Okay, so I'm going to go through those, take a look. If they look good upon first blush, when we first go over it, I'll put them in the potential category. At the end of the day, I'll go through those potential and try to find the most best all in all as far as confluences, risk to reward ratios, and keeping in mind correlation. All right, and then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you'd like me to look at any stock symbols, please let me know. I'm happy to do that for you. If there's any symbols you'd like me to look at before the market closes, put them in the chat and I will do my very best to get to them. Please put an asterisk by it or emoji so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you have any new entries or exits for me as far as up on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day until the market's closed. before you let me know about them. And then after the market's closed, I'll get them all taken care of. All right. So, okay. Hang in there. I'm going to run that US legal disclaimer and I will be back. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay. Brian is here. Hey, Brian, nice to see you. Brian wants to take a look at RTX. Ooh, pretty strong today for sure. Wow. A little high for me to buy. It's over the 1 ATR channel. It's actually over the second ATR channel. We're right next to some previous resistance over here. I mean, it's very strong. There's no doubt. It's very, very strong. I think it's a good sign for this moving higher in the longer term, but in the shorter term, it's right up here against this resistance, and it is above the second ATR channel. Remember, 92% of prices fail at the third ATR channel, and we're right there. We are right there, but it is strong. Miko, hey, good to see you, sir. Hope you're having a nice day. Frank is here. Hello, Greg and the group. Hello, Frank. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing fine after the storm. Johan, hey, everyone. First time here. Listen to Greg's interview on Alpha Mind. Oh, interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm actually doing a little segment on Stephen Goldstein today as well. So good. Good coincidence. Thank you for coming, Johan. If you have any questions, please let me know. Gary says, good afternoon to everyone. Hello, Gary. And David. Hey, David. Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see David. Okay, well, let's start and go through. Steve, Kamal, David, and myself, we did buy Goldman Sachs on Friday. I actually bought it down here at 203.56. I got a good intraday entry. Got it a little early, which is good. Steve and David did buy it here at 208.10 with the 520 crossover, the V1, and the rejection of the 200-day moving average. I could trade this two ways. I could base it off the 200-day moving average, or I could base it off the 520 crossover. And I'm going to base it off the 520 crossover. So did go up, was higher earlier. I did hit one profit target at 210.45. As long as the price stays above the 5 and the 20 EMA, I will stay in it. If it closes below both of those moving averages, I will get out of half. If the 5 crosses under the 20, I will get out of another half. If it continues to move up, I will continue to phase out. Once it gets a certain amount of distance away from my entry, I will start trailing the stop. So anyway, up a little bit, up 0.35%, not a ton, but happy for that. All right, I had to clean something up there. LMT, so yeah, defense stocks are doing well. Kamal, Brian, and myself did buy Lockheed Martin with this rejection of the 200-day, V2, strong clean break above the 200-day in this previous high. Bought it at 385.51. Did hit one profit target today at 389.29. Again, once it moves over 1 ATR for my entry, I will go into trailing stop mode. But so far, so good. All right. SPY. All right. case we have some new viewers to the channel, I do buy the SPY, ticker SPY, every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders. She's at Bespoke Invest on Twitter since 1993. They tested two approaches. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you use this every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9% return. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning, you would have returned a positive 634.2% return. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Just because it's worked in the past does not mean it's going to work in the future. It may never work another day in the history of the world. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, and it's going to be something that has a good back-tested results. Blue lines, the buy in the at the close, sell the next morning. You can see over time the equity curve has just gone up. The orange lines, buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. Over time, it's just been a dud. It hasn't done anything. So I did buy the SPY Friday at the close at 334.57 and opened up, and I sold it exactly 355. So not a big gain, but a gain nonetheless, and I will buy it again today at the close. FAS, all right, Steve, Kamal, Frank, Miko, and myself, we did buy FAS. Kamal bought it down here on a different signal at 31.65. The rest of us bought it here at 33.79 with a 520 crossover. The price, it's just gone up ever since we bought it. Crossover is a good approach. 520 crossover is a good approach with FAS. As you know, every time it moves up a certain amount, I phase out a little. So I phased out here, I phased out here, I phased out here, I phased out here. And I did hit one profit target today, right at the very, very top. Me personally, I think I'm going to probably get rid of this today. It got as high as 67.69 on the RSI. But it also rejected the third ATR channel. And this is, this has been from entry point up to here, it's been a 12.96% return. So I'm going to go ahead and just lock this one in. I could wait and see if it would reject the 70 RSI. It may not, but being that it bumped right up against the 70 and rejected the third ATR channel, makes me inclined to want to go ahead and just lock in profits on this today. All right, I did have some day trades, had some good ones. I don't know what happened with Apple. It was up huge, and then it just took off like crazy. I did buy Apple here, intrabar. We went under 30, over 30. I bought it intrabar when we got right back over the negative third ATR channel. So under 30 RSI, over 30 RSI, under the negative third, over the negative third. I bought it here at 441.80, and it just took off like a rocket ship. We rejected the 50-day moving average here, so I sold half. So bought at 441.80, sold half at 445.60. I'm going to get rid of the second half when I have a close below the previous day's low, and that happened here. Just about the same spot, maybe 10 or 12 cents lower, but that was a good trade. That was like $3.60 on Apple in a half hour. So that was fantastic. Then we moved up above the 1 ATR channel. We came back down here. We tested the 200-day moving average and had a V1 at the same time. So that was a nice confluence of signals there. So I bought at 448.10. Yep, 448.10 here with the bounce off the 200 and the V1. Moved up nicely. I was going to get out here, but I decided to wait for a close below the previous day's low, and I got it the next day here. So I got in at 448.10, got out at 450.30. So two really nice back-to-back trades on Apple. And then I did have one more to the short side. happened here. False breakout to the downside and a V1. We went above this previous high here on this bar, created a V1. I did intra-bar at 451.10. Then it immediately went my way. It bounced off the 50 RSI and closed above. Good thing I was quick with this one, because I was thinking, I think it has more, but I was like, it went under the 50, over the 50, so I shorted here at 451.06, and I covered at 450.21. And good thing I did, because look at this monster move that just happened right after. I mean, Apple goes down $2 and then immediately goes roaring up $4. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So those are my day trades. They were all good. I had VIX pulled up here because we have a double bottom with a bearish or bullish divergence. We have a low, red MACD bars. We go green. We come back down. We go lower. No red. Sorry. We go red, green to no red, which is a double bottom with a missing right shoulder, which is very bullish. And it did take off like it was supposed to, but then we come back down again here. But at the time, before we started the show, I was like, ooh, this is lining up. I'm going to show. So it did move, but then it failed. But you can see the VIX is starting to rally a little bit right now. All right. Let's get to it. Take a look at everybody's trades. Bob had a great trade on Levi Strauss. V2, bought it here at 12.50. It's up 3% today. Did reject the 100-day moving average, but very nice trade, Bob. Domino's Pizza, Gary. I still have Gary down for Domino's Pizza, buying here at 391.76. Tested that 50 twice, but is down 0.72% today. JCOM, David. All right. Well, a bunch of us took this trade. This was, unbelievable trade. Double bottom, missing right shoulder, bullish divergence here, missing right shoulder. The trigger was a V1, bullish engulfing bar, false breakout to the downside, and this really ran. I got out of it here when we rejected the 50-day moving average, and then it just kept moving up. This is a bit of a bearish bar. We rejected the third ATR channel. We have a V1 to the downside. We're still holding the 50 RSI, but anyway, very, very nice trade, David. J&J, Frank and Bob bought J&J at 147.39 on this return to value. Did bounce up. It's kind of been down, up, all over the place today, but still positive on the trade. WBA, Karen, look at this. Unbelievable. False breakout to the downside with the V2. I remember I bought it here. Initially went up, just moved sideways, just moved sideways. I got out here because it wasn't doing anything. I used it as a time stop, but I was a little bit early because look at this today, up 3.06%. So congratulations, Karen. Very, very nice. Procter & Gamble. Brian did buy Procter & Gamble at 128.30. It's at 134.27, up 0.54%. Very nice, Brian. Bob, look at Bob's trade on this false breakout to the downside with a V2 on Nordstrom. Bought at 14.21. It is 16.79, up 4.94% today. Up approximately 18% on this trade. So Bob, congratulations. Very proud of you, my friend. Carmax. All right. We have Steve. Is that all we have? Yep. We have Steve that bought Carmax back here on the 520 crossover. Bought it at 94.90 using the 520 crossover. No problems with this whatsoever. It is just trended up and up and up and up. And let's give Steve a reading here. Looks like it got about 69.65 on the RSI, Steve. So almost kissed it. Almost kissed it. But very nice trade. IWM is another nice trade for Steve. 1030 crossover, bought it here at 146.16, And look at this baby go. It is now above the 70 RSI. It has gone parabolic. So that's always nice. That makes the trade easy because then if it closes below the 70, you can just get out. So fantastic trade, Steve. FEYE, Brian did buy FEYE at 1544. It's at 1588, up 1.4% today. Very nice. DKNG, Kamal did buy DKNG at 35.50. Went up initially Friday, but went down today, down 7.69%. But I believe Kamal got out when it was down 5% because 5% was his stop. But he can let me know for sure. Netflix, Brian bought Netflix here at 509. It's down 1.96% today, so this one's a little underwater. PayPal, Brian bought PayPal back here at 174.01, and this has just been a monster, although is down 2.44% today, but still way profitable on the trade. Stitch Fix, David and Gary bought Stitch Fix back here at 22.56. Right now it's 22.09, so this one is down a little bit. Been testing that 200-day. Hopefully it will hold back over. Gold, Gary M has had a really nice trade in gold. He bought the 520 crossover and got this historic run here. I know he's been phasing out, but he got in at 162.80. It is now 190.31. Down just a little bit today. So sometimes those crossovers can really, really go your way. Facebook, Brian bought Facebook at 235 and 242.98. It's down about 2% today. Looks like it's rejected the 70 RSI and the and the third ATR channel, but still nicely up on the trade. Brian did buy Amazon at 30.57. It is 31.44, up. GM also bought $3,400 calls expiring August 21st. So this would have to get above $3,400 in order for her to be in the money on those. Costco, Glenn bought Costco at 330. It is 340.25, so nicely in the money. AMD, Brian bought AMD way down here at $60. It is down 3% today, but still nicely in the money. TTD, Brian bought TTD at 456, moved up nicely, bounced off his entry point almost to the penny, so he is slightly up, but it is down 5.28% today. SHW, Brian bought SHW at 648.69. It is 650.32, so a little bit in the money still on Sherwin-Williams. Google, Kamal, Brian, and David did buy Google at 1504.15 roughly. Was up Friday, but then came down, is down a little bit today, but well off of its lows, so that's good. Microsoft really got beat up today. Brian bought Microsoft here at 214.84. It is down 4.93 today, down 2.21%. So this one back in the value zone. DRI, Bob bought DRI at 76.50 with this false breakout to the downside, and V2 up 3.73%. So Bob's having a good day today. BRKB, Brian bought BRKB here at 190.49, and it is 212.18. This thing has been a monster, so nice trade there. Rent-A-Center, Glenn bought Rent-A-Center at $31 even. It is now $32.79, up 2.47. Beyond Meat, Steve bought Beyond Meat with the 520 crossover after earnings. And this is down 2.92% today. And it looks like we have a cross under. RBA, Glenn, this thing just keeps moving like crazy. Holy smokes. Glenn bought RBA Ritchie Brothers at 44.60, and this thing has just taken off. Huge bar Friday, another follow through. We're 93.05. I haven't seen an RSI of 93 forever. So that's very, very impressive, Glenn. VGR quad, bought this higher low V2 at 932, up 4.72% today. Very, very nice quad. Proud of you, my friend. And last but not least, FCFS, Kamal and Bob bought it at 58.50, under 30, over 50, V2, under the negative third, over the negative third. Bought it at 58.10, it's at 60.18, but it's down a little bit today. So some really nice trades there. Bob's had a fantastic, unbelievably fantastic day with some of those trades. So congratulations. Glenn's here. Hey, buddy. Steve. Hey, good to see you, Steve. Always nice to have you here, sir. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here, Steve. I'm always excited to see you. I know everyone else is. Steve Burns says, hello, everyone. Another interesting day in an interesting year. Beyond Meat, my only dog today. Yep, just went over that. Steve says, hey, Greg, I was wondering if you had any interest in writing the foreword to the new second edition of my Moving Averages 101 book I'll be releasing this year. Oh, what an honor, Steve. I would be very happy to do that. That's an honor. Wow, what a great surprise. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Yes, let's talk about that. Steve says it should be twice as big as the first edition. It's my favorite trading book in the world, Moving Averages 101. Wow, fantastic. Thank you for that opportunity, Steve. Bob says, hello, Greg and all. Hello, Bob. Fantastic. Fantastic trades today, my friend. Frank has a poem for us. It's easy for traders to go off their game. Markets are not always calm and tame. A put, a call, a rise, and a fall. We know for sure we can't win them all. So be humble, because even the best of them sure do tumble. Boy, that is true on many fronts. Let me give it another shot. It's easy for traders to go off their game. Markets are not always calm and tame. A put, a call, a rise and a fall. We know for sure we can't win them all. So be humble, because even the best of them sure do stumble. That's so great, Frank. What a great one, man. Unbelievable. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, as always, for the time and effort that you put into these fantastic and just relevant poems. And, you know, the thing I see kind of stood out to me there is be humble. Don't get cocky. I'll tell you what, if you get cocky, the end is nigh. That's my experience, right? Because things can turn on a dime. Thank you, Frank. Evan says, IP thoughts. Yeah, really strong, really nice here. We have a fractal today. Here's a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. We did get all them over the moving averages. We're over 50 RSI. It looks pretty good. You know, it had the V1 back on Friday. I don't think I would go all the way back down here because I don't think the risk to reward. So, you know, if you're interested in taking IP, I would probably get out with the close under these moving averages, and profit target would probably be the 200-day up there. That would be my thoughts. David said, sold JCOM this morning's earnings today. Okay. Oh, good. You got it near the top. Thank you. And my charts are wrong again. Look, I have earnings over here. So very nice. Good thing. Glad you got it right at the top. Glad you got it right near the third ATR channel. And proud of you for getting out of it before earnings. But that was one heck of a trade for all of us, wasn't it? Wow. Nice going, David. Steve says, yep, I will be stopped out of Beyond Meat. Nope. Post-earnings drift so far. Post-earnings drift. Steve had an article about post-earnings drift over on newtraderu.com, and he posted on Facebook and Twitter. I'm going to have to read that. Thanks, Greg, for the KMX RSI intraday. Looks like I will be exiting KMX with profits today as well. Yeah, it got really close. Quad, good afternoon. Happy Monday. Fantastic trade, Quad. I forgot what it was now, but I just went over it. Fantastic. Mount Doji, what is going on? Good to see you. It's been a while. Thank you for checking in and saying hello. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope life is good, and thank you so much for swinging back and saying hello to us. Steve Burns says IWM broke above the 70. Oh, is IWM under 70 now? I have it at 71.13, Steve. Steve says, great trade on RBA, Glenn. Yeah, where is RBA? Right here, baby. Here we go, Glenn. Wow. Steve, have you seen the 93 RSI lately? I have not. That is unbelievable. Wow. Congratulations. Congrats, man. Okay. Steve says IWM broke above. Maybe our charts are off because I still have it at 71 RSI. But anyway, sometimes everybody's chart's different. Just stick with what you have. Mount Doji said, had to take a vacation. Glad to be back, getting back to things. Good. I'm really glad you stopped in to say hello, Mount Doji. Steve Burns says RSI is so rare. Boy, I'd say. Okay, let me check out a few little thingy things over here. Before I start looking at new things, more importantly, let me take a look at current positions. All right, Goldman Sachs looks fine. 520 cross, break back over the 200, one profit target. MACD crossed over. This is all good. It's not up a ton, but it's up. Lockheed Martin is doing fine. I don't see any reason to change anything there. SPY, of course, had the little overnight SPY gain. I will be buying that again at the close. And FAST, my directional daily 3 times bull, I am going to get out of this today because it got right very close to the 70 RSI and closing under the negative third ATR channel. In addition, I have Goldman Sachs, so there's a little bit of correlation there as well. So me personally, I'm just going to take this one off the board and be very happy with this beautiful, beautiful trade. Man, look at that VIX here. So choppy. Look at how choppy this was. See how this was just a one-way down train? Bump, 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 bump. And now it's like a super chop fest, which is big moves, down moves, big moves, down moves, big moves, down moves. So there's some emotion in the VIX at the moment. Same with Apple. Way up, way down, way up. All right. So everything looks fine. I am going to get out of FAS today. I'm just going to lock in profits on FAS and call that good. All right, listen, before we start looking for end of day trades, before we go down through the candidates on the watch list, keeping in mind 3 requirements before I want to enter a trade. Confluence combination of indicators is the first one. Second one, good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. And then number 3, keeping in mind correlation. Don't want to have too many correlated positions or just too many positions in general, too much account heat. But just want to switch gears from that, talk a little bit about trader psychology, trader philosophy, good trading words of wisdom. There's some great Twitter channels, great Facebook channels out there. And Johan was just mentioning Stephen Goldstein, the Alpha Mind 101 podcast, and I just happened to be do something from Stephen Goldstein at Alpha Mind 101. If you haven't followed Stephen, I would really suggest it. He is a retired professional trader. He is now a big-time trading coach, works with hedge funds, lots of different people. And he has a great podcast, the Alpha Mind podcast. But if you subscribe to his Twitter channel, Stephen Goldstein on Twitter, you can find his channels, and really great podcast. And I was fortunate enough to be interviewed a couple times on that podcast. But whenever Steve says something, I think we should all listen because it's good advice. Let's see what Steve has to say today. Risk management hack for private trader, short thread. All right, so this is a hack, something that's going to help for private traders. The profit and loss number in your trading often messes with your mind. Our relationships to money are too strong for it not to in most cases. A useful hack is to try and reframe all your profit and losses in percentage terms. And this is so true. You hear so many traders talking about this. You know, when I studied with Dr. Alexander L, there's one of the first thing out of his mouth: turn off your profit and loss. You know, you don't want to look and see a trade and go, oh, hey, I have this much in profits, because your mind starts translating it into, I could buy a jet ski with that, or I could go to London with that, right? And like Stephen says here, our relationship to money is too strong in most cases. So we translate those dollar amounts into things we could buy or things that we could do. And that, what does that do? It helps, or it hurts us follow our plan, because we're like, that's good enough. I'll just go ahead and take that right now, when really that wasn't part of your plan. Maybe it's going to go up another 2 or 3 times that if you would just follow your plan. So I think it's really good advice. If you have the ability in your trading software, turn off the profit and loss in dollar terms, turn it on in percentage terms. I'm not smart enough to look at the percentages and do the math and come up with a number and then put that into how many jet skis I could buy, right? I'm sure some of you are very smart and you'd be able to do that. And in that case, maybe just turn off the percentage as well. But the profit and loss number in your trading often messes with your mind. Our relationship to money are too strong for it not to in most cases. A useful hack is try and reframe all your P&L in percentage terms. So give it a shot. I think what you're going to find is that you are going to follow your plan better, because you're not going to take a look at that monies at the dollar amount and translate that into something that you could buy right there and right then. Because really, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot. I think you're better off just following your plan, not getting shaken out either to the upside or the downside just based upon the dollars you see. So thank you, Stephen Goldstein. That is great advice. And again, if you haven't checked out his podcast, the Alpha Mind podcast, subscribe to his channel and check it out. I think you will find the interviews that he does helpful. So thank you very much, Stephen. Hope you have a good day, sir. Steve says, I agree with you on IWM. It is above 70 at 7106. Yeah, that's... Yep, perfect. 7101 right now. Good. Dave says, I think Steve meant it went above 70. Oh, okay. Well, it is above 70. Yep. Mount Doji says, I see you have Intel marked as well. It caught my eye today. Yes, Intel is one of my favorite ones today, Mount Doji, and we're just about to go over that. Karen says, took loss today on Beyond Meat, which was still greater than all the previous profits. Never buying Beyond again. Shoot. Yeah, it's a tough one, that Beyond, isn't it? But you had a nice trade on WBA here, right, Karen? Glenn says, added CACC at the open. Okay, Glenn, tell me at the end, okay? Tell me at the end. Glenn says, Credit Acceptance Corporation provides financing programs and related products and service to an independent and franchise automobile dealership in the United States. Yeah, used cars seem to be doing pretty well. Frank says, I've been watching the price action on LVGO for a while. I picked it up at 113.60. Okay, please remind me of that, Frank, at the end on where you picked it up, okay? Wow, Nice trade right back in the value zone. That's good. But yeah, please remind me at the end so I can get these all up here correctly. Apple's starting to consolidate here in the value zone. It'll be interesting to see which way this thing breaks. A lot of volume on this down here move. I don't see any particular trade here other than just to point out this probably will break one way or the other from this little pennant and triangle that we're forming here, especially into the end of the day. Okay, here we go. These are the results of the scanner. I do see a couple good ones on here today. I tell you, I like Intel for a couple of reasons. Look, we have this higher low V2. See, here's the low. People who were fortunate enough to buy this low, when it started getting a little weak, it came back down. We had a whole new group of buyers come in today. It's a V2, higher low V2. Here's bar 1, 2, 3. Bar 2 washes out bar 1. Bar 3 closing above bar 1's close. We also went under 30, over 30. And so that's a nice confluence of signals. Ideally, I'd like to see this close above the negative third ATR channel. I don't know if it's going to be able to do it or not. But I do quite like Intel. And on the weekly, we have some sidewards motion, showing that at least there have been some buyers coming in and keeping it sideways. But I do quite like Intel today with the higher low V2, under 30, over 30, fractal. Here's a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. Good risk to reward ratio. It's at a 33.68. So I do like Intel. Southern Company, utility company. We do have a 520 crossover today. We're above the 50 RSI. MACD has gone positive. Weekly, we triggered a V2 last week, a higher low V2 last week, so that's good. It does backtest well with the 520 crossover. I've confirmed that. So this one is also a possibility with the 520 crossover, MACD crossing over as well and above all the moving averages. AMK, big bullish engulfing bar today. It looks like under 30, over 30. It's just that I don't like that it rejected that 200-day. So I'm going to take that one off. SIMO, false breakout to the downside with a V1. It's up a penny. I don't know. I like Intel and SO better. Tilray. So we have a nice V2 here today. The V2 gap, it filled the gap. I don't like the rejected the 1 ATR channel, and I don't like the rejected the 50-day moving average. So no on that one for me. NEU. I think this is under 30, over 30. Yep. Under 30, over 30, false breakout to the downside with a V2. Not too shabby. Let's look at the weekly. Don't like the weekly as much because we've basically only had 1 week sideways motion. We had that big, huge move down. This one's okay. This one's okay. So let me put it over here in the possible section. BTI, false breakout to the downside. V2, under 30, over 30. That is strong as well. DDOG, I remember this one. Bounce off the third ATR channel in a V1, but this is such a huge, strong move down. I think it's going to have a problem getting back up. NET, Bounce off the -1 ATR channel. I just don't see any sign that supply has dried up yet. TWLO is Twillo. We're in the value zone. Couple days, 1 day of sideways motion. If I could get another day of sideways motion in a V1, then I would be interested. DBX, Dropbox, just huge, 2 days down. Did bounce off the 250 and the 200. It's not enough for me. INSG in the value zone, but no V1 or V2. Oil did trigger a higher low V2 earlier, but now it's untriggered. IPGR, I don't see anything there. Maybe an under 30, over 30, but not right now. Now, speaking of now, it's a V1, didn't wash out very well, did go under 50, over 50. It's up at the second ATR channel on the weekly. I think I'm going to let that one go as well. Space, Spice, Virgin Galactic, under 50, over 50. I mean, that's good, but no V2 or anything. That's all that there is. I mean, if you're dying to buy SPCE, you could buy it here. Just make sure if it closes below the 50, you get out, but I'm not interested in that. EWZ, a little bit of, false breakout to the downside, bounce off the 50-day moving average, no V1 though. BMRN, well, tomorrow I might be interested in BMRN if we could trigger a V2, get above the 50-day moving average, wash out this previous low. We have washed out these lows already today, but there's no V1. So that's something to look at tomorrow. Tesla, wow. Down in the value zone, sideways motion. I don't see anything here yet. Is holding the 50 RSI, is holding the -1 ATR channel. Teladoc. Boy, this one has really come under some pressure, hasn't it? Wow. Just down, down, down. And Dexcom. Yeah, I don't see anything there. So potentials here are Intel, higher low V2. With a company like Intel, we have formed a little bit of a base down here, under 30, over 30 and back over the 5-day. I kind of like Intel. Do I like SSO enough? That's the question. Here we are on the monthly. We are consolidating, hanging in the value zone, really moving sideways. This thing is going to move. Weekly, V1 last week, and daily. And it does back test well. It does back test well, and it does have, so it has a 520 cross over the moving averages, MACD crossover. NEU is pretty good. I think I'm going to let that one go. BTI feels a little chasey to me at these levels. It is a nice false breakout to the downside. V2 under 30, over 30, but it just seems chasey to me. I don't think the risk to reward is as great. I could totally be wrong, but I'm going to pass on that one. Tilray already rejected the 50 and SIMO. So, me personally, I like Intel and I like SSO. Okay, fast. Let me get out of fast just to get this off here. I am locking in profits on fast. What do we have? 10 minutes. Okay, so FAS is gone. Goldman Sachs is fine. Lockheed Martin's doing well. Let's see what VIX is telling us. Oh my. Yeah, it went on a bit of a run there, didn't it? Look at Apple here. False breakout to the downside and a V1. Interesting. All right. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and buy Intel here. I'm going to go ahead and buy. Whew. Good thing I looked. I almost bought Intel twice. Nice, Greg. Instead of buying SO. Okay. That's what I was saying. I've said it many times. Just make sure you spend the extra 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds just to make sure you're buying what you think you're buying or what you want to buy, that you're buying it, you're not shorting it. I mean, I literally almost did it. I bought Intel, and then I went to buy SO, and I almost bought Intel twice. All right. I am taken care of. Intel and SO. Whew. All right. Let's see what Apple's doing with that false breakout to the downside in the V1. Holding steady, about 5 minutes to go. Boy, look at that big down bar on VIX there. Big volatile bar. And it's attempting a comeback as well. You know, this is a good example of a big down bar. I would imagine it might test this area, this 50% of this bar, and that kind of has a nice confluence there with the 50-day moving average. Maybe not quite, but right about here, I think, is if it does rally, that's where it would fail. Just a guess. So I did get out of fast. It got right bumped up to the 70 and lost the third ATR channel. Plus it was a big gainer, and I have Goldman Sachs, so I don't want to keep that in mind, you know. Okay. So choose wisely today. Depending on what you're doing here in the last few minutes, choose wisely. Get your emotions under control. Make sure you think twice about things. Don't get caught up in the moment. All that good stuff, right? Keep in mind correlation, all that sort of stuff. Couple minutes to go. All right, we have 1 minute. $55.04. Okay. 30 seconds to go. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Okay, so there we go. Pretty good day today for sure. Hope you had a good day as well. If you have any updates for me, any new entries or any exits on the board, this is the time to do it. Just let me know what you added or subtracted and at what price if you like. Before I get to that, just quickly want to put in my daily plug and just remind everybody that I do offer private one-on-one teaching and coaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I have a great course that I teach. It's a total of 15 hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. I've traded for over 24 years. I have studied with some great traders and authors like our friend Steve Burns, who's in the chat right now, Dr. Alexander Elder, Carrie Lavorne, and Larry Williams. I've studied one-on-one with each one of these gentlemen, and they've taught me a bunch. In the course, I teach you everything that I've learned from each one of them, plus things that I've developed myself. I think if you take the course, when you get done, you're going to have a lot better idea, be able to put the markets into some kind of context as far as what kind of trades to take depending on what the market is doing. It's pretty intense, the course. Like I said, it's 5 sessions, 3 hours. Basically, the format is the first part of the lesson I teach. The second part, I basically have you teach it back to me, and then we just do a lot of chart study based upon the lesson that we just have. So I think one-on-one learning something from your coach one-on-one, I think it's the best way to go, and that's why I offer it this way, because I really think it's the best and you get your money's worth. It is $1,000, but I think it's worth every penny. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. You can send me an email. My email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter at Gossett Trading, and if you do reach out to me, I'll reply and say, hey, how's it going? Let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call is free. There's no sales pressure. I 100% promise you that. I just want to talk to you, find out more about you, your trading career, your challenges, your goals, and then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And like I said, I'm not going to ask you if you want to take it. I'll just say it's nice chatting with you, putting a face with the name. Think about it. If you're interested, you can email me back, and if you are, then we can get set up that way. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Helps build the channel. It's important to help keep the channel going, so if you could take a half a second and do that, if you found today's podcast helpful, I would certainly appreciate that. Okay, so let me see where I got in my stuff. All right, so SPY I got in at 335.57. SO I got in at 54.99. And Intel I got in at 49.22. Does that sound right? All right, so overnight SPY trade. $335.57 for tomorrow. SO got in at 54.99. Oh, that's a good little entry so far, huh? Knock on wood. And Intel, I got in at 49.22, exactly where it is. Okay. Done and done. And like I said, I did get out of fast today with the rejection there, so. All right, so current lineup is Goldman Sachs. One profit target on that one today. Lockheed Martin, one profit target on that one today. And then the new entry of SPY, 335.57, Intel, 49.22, and SO at 54.99. Okay, here we go. Karen, in Intel, come on, Greg, get it together. Oh my gosh. I've said this before, but my computer is silver and I have these skylights above me and I can't ever really tell what I'm pushing because I can't see it. Out of Beyond Meat. Okay, I think Steve's out of Beyond Meat as well, right? Yeah, darn it. That Beyond Meat, that one's a tough bugger sometimes, isn't it? Gary M says, I bought Google with Kamal a few days ago. Okay. All right, got you, Gare. Intel and SSO. Gary. And Gary. Evan, IP. $36.22. Evan M. David's in Intel. You know, Friday I was very close to selling puts on Intel. Obviously, I wish I would have. JCOM. Yeah, I took you off at JCOM. Brian says sold TDD. Yeah, that was a bit of a volatile bar there, huh? And bought pins. At 36. Okay. Miko exited fast. All right, got you out there, Miko. Marcus, hey buddy, good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Marcus says, I stand by what he is saying. You cannot beat one-on-one. You do not find that often. Oh, thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. Marcus is a current student of mine, and we are going right through the course, and he is doing outstanding. But I think Mark is 100% right. One-on-one is the best. I mean, you have, you know, if you're in a class and somebody has a question, you don't want to have too many questions. You don't want to take the whole thing over. But that's the nice thing with one-on-one is that you ask as many questions as you want, and I'm pretty patient. So, okay, so Steve exited Beyond Me and KMX. Do we have anyone else in KMX? No, just Steve. And it did reject the 70. Beautiful trade, Steve. Textbook perfect, my friend. And I did get you out of Beyond, right? Yeah, I did. Marcus said, "Is no pressure by Greg." Yeah, there's no pressure. I just want to chat with you and see if we're a good fit. Then I'll say, think about it. Send me an email if you want to get going. So you don't have to worry about that. Kamal, add a DKNG. God, that one was just rude today, Kamal, wasn't it? All right, we'll get that one off like it never happened. Keep the garden free of weeds, right? And in SO. Still have VGR and I'm in Intel now. All right, we got Quad Racer. Dan's in Intel. Gotcha, Dan. Bob is in Intel. What a great day for Bob today. Proud of you, Bobby. Glenn, CACC. One. Oh, I mean 513. These stock prices are insane. $500 stocks. When I grew up trading, I mean, stocks were, you know, $150 like at the most. Now we have $3,000 stocks. It's amazing. Gary M says, thanks, Greg. You're welcome, Gary. David says, thanks, Greg. You're welcome, Dave. Glenn says, RCL and DAL V1, but under 200, so outside my rules. Yeah, airlines had big days today for sure. I noticed that earlier, Glenn. Well, I should say leisure. Whoa, holy smokes, up 10% today. Wow, I didn't realize that was up that much. And let's look at DAL. Wow. Bob says, thanks, Greg. You're welcome, Bud. Congratulations on the great trading. Okay, I think I've got it all at the moment, unless anybody has anything else for me. So what's happening after hours here? SO's up 0.5%. That's good. Apple's down. Goldman Sachs is down. Intel's up. Lockheed Martin's down. Q's are down. SO's up, like I mentioned. And Vixie Boy is up. Let's see what VIX did here at the end of the day. About what I said, right? You have the big down bar. Rallying to the halfway was probably it. Almost exactly. All right. I mention this each day, but think about your stock portfolio as a garden. You don't want weeds to overtake your garden. You want your flowers and your vegetables and tomatoes and all that stuff to grow. Those are your stock profits. But when you start getting a weed, and a weed in this case is a losing trade, a red trade, right? You want to keep those weeds out of your garden. They're going to hurt your garden. If they get too much, they're going to affect the rest of your garden. So, let the winners grow. Keep the green things in the ground, but take out the reds, which are losses. All right. Anybody else have anything else? So it looks like a bunch of us are in Intel. Dan, Quad, Karen, Gary, David, Bob, and myself. We'll see. Of course, we never know, but to me, it looked like a good signal, especially on a stock quality of Intel, right? Under 30, over 30, nice higher low V2. I guess you could make a case that it closed above the third ATR channel. It's probably right on the line, but it's a good risk to reward ratio. That's the main thing. And we have had a couple weeks of sideways motion, which shows that at least some buyers were willing to come in at these levels. But we shall see. No matter how good the setup is, doesn't mean it's going to work. All we can do is manage the risk of the trade. Quad says, thanks, Greg, and thumbs up as always. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that, Quad. Hope you're doing well. It looks like you're having some good trades. Quad's a previous student of mine, so always great to see my students in here. If you do take my class, I think it does help when you come to the live stream because you're hearing what I've taught you in the class, over and over and over in different real life situations. And if Carol is out there, Carol is my new student. She just signed up for the course. So if you're listening, Carol, or if you're listening later tonight, I'm really glad that we're going to be working together this coming Saturday. Thank you, Kamal. As always, my friend. I don't know what I'd do without Kamal. Seriously. We have such, the scanner that he built is so amazing. You remember when I used to just have to go down through the watch list the whole time? I mean, not that you can't find good trades in there, but that scanner just kicks out these combination confluences. So anyway, many, many thanks, Kamal. Johan, thanks, Greg. Enjoy the sessions. Thank you. Appreciate you being here, and I'm glad you listened to that podcast. Thanks to Stephen Goldstein for that. And if there's anything I can help you with, Johan, you let me know, okay? Dan says, thumbs up for Greg. Thank you, Dan. Yes, thumbs up if you're around and you're still here. If you could take half a second, hit that thumbs up button, I would really appreciate it. Wow. Dow up 357 points and the NASDAQ down 42. That's some rotation, isn't it? I see an article here on Apple. New Street Research raises Apple's price target to 320 from 265. We're at 450. Maybe they're talking about after the split. I don't know, but that seems strange. Staz87. Hey, Staz. What just happened to CPRX? CPRX. Catalyst Pharmaceutical. Well, that's a pretty good day right there, isn't it, Staz? Well, we have a higher low V2, which is good. Here's bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 2 washes out bar 1, bar 3 closed above bar 1's close. That is positive. We have, the 200-day moving average right here. I don't think I would probably take this trade. I would take this trade if we had a double bottom with a bullish divergence or something, but Very likely that 100-day is going to act as resistance like it did back here, making the risk to reward ratio not even 1-to-1 actually. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's better. It's holding the 100-week moving average as support, so that's good, but pretty big move up today, that's for sure. Gary says, enjoy your hike today. Thanks for the scanner info, Kamal. Thanks to Frank as well for the great poems. I agree. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Frank. Levi, look at Bob with Levi today, up 3.28%. And look at Bob with Nordstrom, up 5.63%. Wow. Glad to see Bob having such a great day there. All right, well, it's a beautiful day here. I'm going to put my hiking boots on and head on out, go for a hike. Looking forward to that. Come home, do my shoulder exercises. I think that's helping my shoulder issue. So, all right, well, listen, as always, have a good rest of your day. Try to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or wave or hello, or just be nice and kind and polite. And I think if all of us did that every day, the world would be a better place. And ideally, if you could do one nice thing each day for one human, that would be fantastic. And if you could also do another nice thing for an animal each day, that would be even doubly as fantastic. And it's good karma, and it's going to help your trading. Okay, so be good, be safe, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow, which is Tuesday, during the last hour of the markets. Oh, Stas says CPRX after hours just dropped from 428. Oh, I didn't look at the after hours. Did they have earnings? Oh my. They're down 17%. I don't know if they had earnings. Oh yeah. Announces financial results, provide business update. So wasn't so good. Wasn't so good. I didn't know they had earnings here today. Wow, that's a big move on a $4 stock. Yep, must have been bad. Must have been bad earnings. So, all right, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Hit the thumbs up button if you can, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.